They say that in the digital age, a single notification can change your entire life in less than a second. April 4th, 2026. While the world was still dissecting the terrible news of Billie Eilish's tour collapse, and while fans were still praying for a wedding surprise that never came, the other side of the story finally spoke. A minute ago, Nat Wolff dropped a major update that has sent shockwaves through every corner of the internet. It wasn't a press release. It wasn't a legal statement. It was a total, permanent redirection of his future. And according to those inside the Eilish estate, Billie is currently weeping bitterly as she realizes that the ghost she tried to create has finally walked out of the haunting for good. Tonight, we are breaking down the update that officially ends the Eilish-Wolff era. So, what was the major update that broke the internet? Nat Wolff didn't just announce a new movie or a new song. He announced a total creative reset. In a video posted to his personal channel, Nat revealed that he has officially stepped down from every joint project he shared with Billie Eilish. The Eclipse production company? Gone. The unreleased collaborative album? Shelved indefinitely. But the real blow, the one that reportedly left Billie in complete disbelief, was Nat's announcement that he is leaving Los Angeles for an indefinite period to work on a humanitarian scoring project in Europe. He's not just leaving the relationship. He's leaving the machine that Billie built around them. He's choosing a life where her name isn't the first thing people ask him about. Why is Billie weeping bitterly? Because for the last month, she reportedly believed she was in control of the narrative. She thought that by canceling the tour and protecting her art, she was forcing Nat to wait for her in the shadows. But Nat's major update proved that he isn't a character in her story anymore. Insiders describe Billie's reaction as total heartbreak. She reportedly realized that her pursuit of artistic isolation worked too well. She pushed him to the edge. And he didn't just fall. He flew away. The bitter tears aren't just for the loss of a boyfriend. They are for the realization that she can no longer buy his time, his talent, or his silence. Everything comes back to that February 14th post. The one that started the fire. Happy Valentine's Day, I've broken so many hearts, and I won't stop, have a good one. When Billie wrote that, she thought she was the bad guy. She thought she was the one holding the power. But today, as Nat Wolff moves his life across the Atlantic, those words feel like a ghost story, she told herself. She didn't break Nat's heart. She just set it free. Nat's update is the ultimate response to her Valentine's boast. He didn't stay to let her keep breaking him. He chose his own peace over her vision. And now, Billie is left with the good one she told us to have. While she sits in a house that feels like a museum of things she can't have back. As of this hour, Nat Wolff's flight has reportedly left LAX. The major update is the final chapter of a 3-year journey. Billie Eilish remains the biggest artist in the world. But tonight, she is also the loneliest. The terrible news has been replaced by a new reality. Can Billie turn this bitterness into her next masterpiece? Or has the eclipse finally darkened her world for good? What do you think of Nat's decision to walk away from the $200 million and the fame? Was it the right move? Let us know in the comments. We're watching the story, and so a new one can begin. They say the hardest part of a ghost tour is realizing that you're the only one left in the haunting. April 4th, 2026. While the world was looking for Billie Eilish in the shadows of Highland Park, Nat Wolff was looking for the exit. A minute ago, the silence was shattered by a major update that didn't come from a PR firm or a music label. It came from a GPS tag and a single, final photo from an airport lounge. Nat Wolff has officially left the country. And, according to sources close to the production, Billie Eilish is currently weeping bitterly as she stares at a phone that will no longer ring. The terrible news was just a prologue. Tonight, we are witnessing the final, cold broadcast of a relationship that ran out of time. So, what was the major update that has the industry in a tailspin? It wasn't a breakup post. It was a disconnection notice. Nat Wolff reportedly spent the last 48 hours systematically deactivating his professional ties to the Eilish brand. He has resigned from their joint charity boards. He has pulled his name from the Eclipse film credits. And most importantly, he has accepted a long-term residency at a theater in London. He didn't just end the relationship, he moved to a different continent to ensure that he wouldn't be a character in her next album cycle. The update was a clear message. He is no longer a ghost in her tour. He is a man who is choosing his own life over her dark aesthetic. Why is Billie weeping bitterly now? Because for the first time since 2024, she has lost the ability to edit the story. Insiders describe a scene of total emotional exhaustion inside the Eilish estate. Billie reportedly believed that the terrible news of her tour cancellation would bring Nat back to her side. She thought her vulnerability would be the wedding surprise that finally fixed everything. But Nat's major update proved that he is done being a supporting actor. When she saw the photo of him at the terminal, looking relieved, looking free, the reality finally hit. She didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost the only person who refused to be bought by the $200 million or the fame. She is weeping because she is finally, truly, alone. We have to talk about the irony of that February 14th tweet. It's the ghost that won't stop screaming. Happy Valentine's Day, I've broken so many hearts, and I won't stop, have a good one. When she wrote that, she felt powerful. She felt like she was the one who decided who stayed and who went. But Nat Wolff's major update is the ultimate stop. He didn't wait for her to break him again. He didn't wait for the next surprise. He realized that in Billie's world, the music always requires a victim, and he chose not to be one. Now, Billie is weeping bitterly because she realizes that when she told us to have a good one, she didn't realize Nat would actually take her advice. Without her, as of this recording, Nat Wolff is halfway across the Atlantic. The major update is the final period at the end of a very long sentence. Billie Eilish is still the queen of the charts. But tonight, she is the queen of an empty castle. The ghost tour is over. The terrible news is the new normal. Can Billie turn this bitterness into a new sound? Or has the eclipse finally taken everything? What do you think of Nat's great escape? Was it the only way to save himself?